Welcome to Mysterium Philosophicum, where forgotten truths return from the depths of time. Today we enter the ancient silence of the Corpus Hermeticum, a voice not of a man, but of the divine mind itself. These are not merely teachings, they are keys to the inner temple. In the twilight hours between worlds, when the veil grows thin and whispers of eternity pierce the silence of mortal minds, there exists a voice that has spoken across millennia, hidden in scrolls sealed with the sigils of forgotten wisdom. This is the voice of Hermes Trismegistus, the Thrice-Great, the scribe of the gods, keeper of secrets that bridge heaven and earth. In the sacred text known as the Corpus Hermeticum lies a message not merely written, but transmitted from the divine mind itself. Tonight we descend into the mystery. We seek not knowledge for the mind, but gnosis for the soul. For what you are about to encounter is not philosophy, it is initiation. In the beginning was the Nous, the divine mind, the first cause, the primordial intelligence that dreams all existence into being. Unlike the distant creator god of exoteric religions, the Nous is intimate, immediate. It is the very consciousness through which you perceive these words. From this divine mind emanates all creation, not as separate from its source, but as reflections within an infinite mirror. Each star, each grain of sand, each beating heart carries within it the signature of the divine architect. The first Hermetic revelation whispers, "You are not a body housing a soul. You are a soul, temporarily wearing flesh, carrying within your deepest essence the very mind of God. As above, so below. As within, so without." These words, carved upon the legendary emerald tablet, contain perhaps the most profound secret ever transmitted to human consciousness. They speak not of mere correspondences, but of the fundamental unity underlying apparent duality. The movements of planets mirror the circulation of blood. The sacred geometry of galaxies echoes in the spiral of a shell. Your inner emotional storms reflect the tempests of the outer world. Nothing is separate. Nothing is isolated. All is interconnected in the grand symphony of being. This is why the ancient initiates could read the stars to understand the soul and peer into the soul to comprehend the cosmos. They knew what modern science is only beginning to rediscover, that consciousness and cosmos are one fabric, woven from the same divine thread. But why do we find ourselves here, in this realm of matter, forgetting our divine origin? The Corpus Hermeticum speaks of the soul's descent, a cosmic tragedy of love and curiosity. The primordial human, the anthropos, gazed into the mirror of material creation and became enchanted by his own reflection. Forgetting his divine nature, he descended through the 7 planetary spheres, each clothing him in new layers of forgetfulness. This is not punishment, but education. The soul chooses incarnation not as exile, but as initiation. In the density of matter, the divine spark learns to recognize itself, to remember its true nature through the very experience of having forgotten it. You are that fallen light, carrying within your mortal frame the memory of eternity. Every moment of suffering, every question that arises in your heart is the divine calling to itself, the Nous recognizing the Nous. But how does the sleeping divinity within us awaken? The Hermetic path speaks not of faith or belief, but of gnosis, direct, experiential knowledge of our divine nature. This gnosis cannot be taught through words alone. It must be lived, suffered, transformed. Like the alchemical prima materia, the raw material of the psyche must be dissolved, purified, and reconstructed. The external work of alchemy, transmuting base metals into gold, was always a symbol for the internal work, transmuting the lead of unconsciousness into the gold of divine awareness. Every ancient alchemist knew this secret. The laboratory was within. Through contemplation, through the systematic deconstruction of false identities, through the careful cultivation of inner silence, the soul begins to remember. The Nous stirs within. The divine spark ignites. Hermes did not emerge in isolation. It flows as an underground river through all authentic spiritual traditions. In Plato's cave allegory, we find the same teaching of souls ascending from shadows to light. The Gnostic Gospels speak the same language, of divine sparks trapped in matter, of the necessity of awakening, of Gnosis' liberation. Christian mystics like Meister Eckhart echo Hermes when they speak of the soul's ground being identical with God's ground. Islamic esotericism recognizes the perfect human as the mirror of divine attributes. Jewish Kabbalah maps the same descending and ascending currents of divine light. What emerges is not a religion, but the religion, the eternal wisdom that appears whenever human consciousness touches its divine source. Hermes Trismegistus is not the founder of this wisdom. He is its eternal voice, speaking through every genuine mystic who has ever lived. The ultimate teaching of the Corpus Hermeticum is perhaps its most radical. You are not meant to worship the divine from a distance. You are meant to become it. This is the great work, not the perfection of the personality, but its dissolution into something infinitely greater. The goal is not to improve the ego, but to realize that the ego is always an illusion, a temporary costume worn by eternal consciousness. In the highest gnosis, the seeker and the sought merge. The individual wave recognizes itself as the ocean. The ray of light remembers it was never separate from the sun. This is why Hermes is called Trismegistus, Thrice-Great. Great as philosopher, great as priest, great as king. But perhaps the deepest meaning is this: great in the understanding that multiplicity is illusion, that the three are one, that all apparent divisions exist only in the dreaming mind of the divine. And so we return to where we began, but we are no longer the same. The words you have heard tonight were not information to be stored, but invitations to be lived. Somewhere within you, the Nous stirs. Somewhere beneath the accumulated layers of identity and habit, the divine spark awaits recognition. The same intelligence that moves the stars beats within your heart. The same consciousness that dreams the cosmos into existence is the consciousness through which you experience this very moment. The message of the Corpus Hermeticum is not ancient history, it is eternal present. It is the voice of your deepest self, calling across the illusion of time, reminding you of what you have always been but have temporarily forgotten. Listen. In the silence between thoughts, in the space between breaths, in the gap between one moment and the next, the divine mind speaks, not in words but in the pure awareness that you are. Know thyself, and you shall know the universe and the gods. The initiation continues. The words of Hermes echo across eternity. Know yourself, and you shall know the gods. May these forgotten truths awaken in you a memory older than time. Thank you for walking this sacred path with us. Subscribe to Mysterium Philosophicum for more journeys through ancient mysteries, philosophy, mystery, and the secret soul of the cosmos. And remember, not all eyes that are open truly see.